Thanks, folks, for joining us. Thanks, guys, for joining us. And then, sorry, please, those of you who are just joining us, kindly remember to love and like our videos because of the children of hate. Thanks, guys, for joining us. Thank you so much. We are on day 11. We've just done 10 days now. Today's day 11 of our 60 days campaign trail to keep Igbo Off Yorubaland because of their criminality and because of the fact that they come into our space unregulated and they have never supported our political interests. They have never for once supported the political interests of the Yoruba nation ever since the first federal election took place in 1959. 1959, they formed a coalition government with the Hausa Fulani to produce the Prime Minister of Nigeria in person of Tafawa Balewa. In 1964, they went into alliance again with the Hausa Fulani that produced again Tafawa Balewa as the Prime Minister. So the 1964 election was unique in the sense that then Awolowo had been put in prison and 21 other Yoruba people. They've been put in prison unjustly. And some Igbo said to the Yoruba that, let us boycott the election. The Igbo wanted the election of 1964 boycotted because the Fulani had reneged on the agreement they had with Igbo in 1959 to do one term, after which they will hand over power to the Igbo in 1964. But Balewa said, no, you would like to recontest. So the Igbo came to the Yoruba and said that they do not wish to participate in the 1964 election, which went on from 1964 down to 1965. It was staggered. The Yoruba nation were said, well, you've put our leaders in prison. We also would like to boycott the election. So the two of them agreed that we boycott the election of 1964. It was a rude shock for the Yoruba nation. On the day of the election, the Igbo participated in that election in 1964, and they won almost all the seats in Western region. So they fooled the Yoruba leaders, saying that they would like to boycott the election. But they did not. They participated. They participated and brought in power Tafawa Balewa. Then we had some incursion of the military. In 1966, Igbo came in and disorganized the system in 1966 because Balewa declared himself winner in 1964. He declared himself as prime minister. The Igbo in the military and their political wing planned a coup, killed all the leaders, including Balewa and the rest of them, and put themselves in power in 1966 January. You remember what happened? The Fulani counter coup came and we had a civil war. So the military were in power from 1966 until 1979. So in 1979, the military left. So we went back into democratic system. Rather than the Igbo to work and support the Yoruba or Bafemi Awolowo, they worked with Shagari, voted for Shagari massively, a Fulani man. Shagari won the election of 1979, even though it was massively rigged by Mr. Obasanjo. He rigged that election for Shagari. The Igbo worked with that guy. So Shagari became president. The same way they worked with Balewa in 1959 and 1964. They supported Shagari in 1979. In 1983 election came, the Igbo again supported Shagari. And then Shagari won the second time. But the military came in 1983, took over power. The military allowed for election in 1992 and 1993. The 1993 was the presidential election between two major contenders, Bashir Tofa, a Fulani, and MK Abiola, a Yoruba citizen. The Igbo nation was expected to decide who wins. And again, to tell you guys, you know it all. The Igbo again voted for Bashir Tofa, a Fulani. Sorry, these guys hate us. They don't like the Yoruba people. They don't like us. They have deep-seated hatred for us. If somebody hates you so much, you continue to accommodate that person in your home, you are foolish. You are very foolish. So that was what happened in 1993. The Igbo voted against Yoruba citizen MK Abiola. They voted for the Fulani Bashir Tofa. Then that election was annulled. The Igbo perpetrated the annulment. They precipitated it. Otto Nzeribe, an Igbo citizen, went to court saying that the election should be annulled. Well, the court was under the command and control of the Fulani, so they easily annulled the election. And the winner of that election was eventually assassinated. I'm still going to talk about that. It was assassinated. Then by 1999, there was a new democratic system after the military left in 1999. So there was an election between two major political parties and major candidates. Mr. Obasanjo was contesting on behalf of PDP, and Olufalaye was contesting on behalf of the ADAPP. Yeah, the election, of course, is going to be decided again by the Igbo and the Fulani. Everybody knows that Obasanjo is not a Yoruba citizen. His father was Igbo, his mother was a Yoruba woman. And in 1979, Obasanjo rigged the election for the Fulani. So he has never loved the Yoruba. He doesn't love us so much. We've been told that he lost his mom when he was young. Perhaps that could have contributed to his madness. The election came, and of course, the Fulani wanted Obasanjo. They voted for him. The Yoruba wanted Olufalaye. We voted for him. The Igbo nation was to decide the election. As usual, they went on and voted Obasanjo, who was being supported by the Fulani. So you see, it has always been the way and manner of the Igbo. So the election has been consistent. The pattern has been consistent. The Igbo nation do not like the Yoruba nation. That election of 2003 came, the Igbo nation voted for Obasanjo massively. The Yoruba boycotted that election. 2007 election came, the Igbo nation voted for Fulani Yaradua on a massive scale. The 2011 election came, the Igbo nation voted for Jonathan, who was the sitting president then. The Yoruba nation also voted for Jonathan, who was the sitting president. But after we helped Jonathan into power, the Igbo monopolized his government. They control everything. And then the Yoruba have had enough. And the Yoruba major political parties supported Buhari at the 2015 election, and Buhari won. The only reason the Yoruba nation voted for Buhari is because we helped Jonathan to win in 2011, only for Jonathan to allow Igbo to control his government with no position given to the Yoruba nation. So we were angered. In that election of 2015, like I have explained to you, I'm talking about this to bring out something about 9/11. That's what I want to tell you. I have to roll so you get this juice. In 2015, Tinubu wanted to be president of Nigeria. He has absolute right to do so. Tinubu is more brilliant than Jonathan. Tinubu is more exposed than Jonathan. Tinubu is respected than Jonathan. Jonathan is a very fearful, stupid man who doesn't care about his own people. Tinubu does care about the Yoruba nation. He has shown this. time without number. There's no single PDP member today in Yorubaland who is more pro-Yoruba than Tinubu. But Tinubu, very smart politician, and astute politician, he realized that Jonathan contesting for the election, he will get the vote of the South-South and get the vote of the Igbo. Tinubu cannot get the vote of the South-South and the Igbo as of 2015. He will essentially get the Igbo, the vote of the Yoruba nation. Tinubu can't get the vote of the Hausa Fulani. He can't get the vote of the Kanuri. So he let go of his own desire to be president in 2015 because it was obvious he's going to lose if he had contested. So what happened? He gave his support to Buhari, which majority of us were against because Buhari is a typical Fulani man, which should not happen. It's minority. We wanted to say to Tinubu, let Jonathan be. But he said to us that, look, if Jonathan should win again, he's going to destroy the Yoruba nation. But believe you me, I now agree with him because of the attitude of the Igbo during the Jonathan presidency. So Tinubu rather worked with Buhari, and Buhari won that election. Not essentially because the Yoruba nation wanted Buhari, but because Jonathan disappointed us, and we clearly showed him the door out. So you see what happened in 2019 election. The Igbo supported Atiku of Fulani. So these guys have shown in 11 federal elections. This is what history is all about. History simply means events that happened in the past. The Igbo nation, they have shown without any reasonable doubt that they hate us. Now, if somebody has shown such hatred towards me, do you think I will allow the person to stay in my spare room in my house? Somebody who has shown time without number is hatred for me. So if I allow him in my space, he will destroy me eventually. He's going to ruin my life. He's going to destroy my household. So what I do is that I'll chase him out of my household. That is what we are going to do to the Igbo nation. And if they refuse to leave Yorubaland, we are not going to be as crude as Hausa Fulani that we just summarily execute all of them. We're not going to be as cruel as Ijo nation that will just kill all of them. We are going to give them the same treatment the white gave to the Japanese in 1942. We cage them. And we can use any means necessary to cage the Igbo. First, we are take back all the market they own in Yorubaland, because this market were obtained from proceeds of crimes, criminal activities that were committed across Yorubaland. In the process alone, a number of Yoruba were killed. Now, why am I saying all of this? Look at all of this that has happened to the Yoruba nation. There are two fundamental things that happen to us that majority of young Yoruba have no clue about it. When somebody hates you, if you embrace them, they will finish you. In 1966, Igbo, they assassinated the first modern Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò of Yorubaland. Before Akintola, the last Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò of Yorubaland we had, there was nothing like Nigeria then. That was the 12th Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò. Nothing like Nigeria. We were all Yoruba. But the first modern Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò that we had, in which the Yoruba nation were now part of Nigeria, was Akintola. He was assassinated by Igbo on the 15th of January 1966. You note that. Note that. The second Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò that we had as a Yoruba nation inside Nigeria was MKO Abiola. He too was assassinated by the Fulani. So Fulani have assassinated two Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò. The only two Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò we have had in modern time. So what did we do to the first attempt by the Igbo? We did nothing. So this emboldened Hausa Fulani to kill our second Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò. But you look at 9/11 in America, Osama bin Laden and the rest of them led a group of people who hijacked commercial planes and crashed them in America. Many people lost their life. What did the United States of America do? These are white people. White America are more sophisticated than the Yoruba nation. They are more educated than the Yoruba nation, because they have proven these two with what they have been able to turn the United States of America to. So we Yoruba, we call ourselves the most sophisticated in Africa, the most educated in Africa. They killed two of our modern Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò. We did nothing. But what happened after the 9/11? America changed their immigration rule. Before then, there was nothing like fingerprinting technology. They brought that to bear to monitor the number of people coming into their space. Then what did America do? They went straight to Iraq and leveled that place. They went straight to Afghanistan and make sure they assassinate Osama bin Laden. That is how educated, civilized, intelligent, sophisticated nation, that is how they behave. Only crude people, unreasonable people, stupid people, idiot people like Yoruba, that they will kill your people and you will be silent without any revenge. Let the black in America try to kill any white American leaders. They will pay for that for years and years to come. Today, you see ridiculous assertion from people in Yorubaland telling us that we are related to Igbo. Very ridiculous. How can that statement be coming out in 2019? Are we just existing now? Yoruba, and I want you to note something. Look at across the world, people who are meek-minded, people who are gentle, people who embrace everybody, they don't live long on the planet Earth. They do not live long. Because if you embrace everybody, you embrace those who wish you evil, they would eventually kill you. If you are well educated, if you are exposed, you should know that somebody that means evil towards you, if you give them a chance, they will destroy you. So any Yoruba saying that we must embrace Igbo, they are liberal, they are hopeless people. I behave like white American. And that is how human beings should relate. That's how human beings should think. How can our leaders be killed every now and then, and we embrace those who assassinated our leaders? Bolage was killed by Obasanjo. Everybody knows that. Bolage was killed by Atiku. Atiku obtained over 2 million votes from Yoruba. This is what I've said to some of the Yoruba of us. I will kill all of you. That is it. We just blow you up. I said it in a group. I said, how can Yoruba give Atiku 22 million votes? Somebody who killed Bolage is a Yoruba. Bolage was called Cicero, very brilliant man. And Yoruba voted for his killer. Obasanjo's son accused him of having carnal knowledge of his own daughter-in-law. People are still respecting Obasanjo today. So if I kill all the Yoruba Obas, you will respect me. That is what it means. When a child, a young child, sees you afraid of a man with a gun, he knows that to control you, he needs a gun. How can Yoruba nation be supporting those who constantly and continuously kill our leaders? How can we allow Obasanjo to continue to live in Yoruba land unmolested? Somebody that destroys our civilization. If you are afraid to kill those who are killing you, the world will call you cowards. That's why Igbo are calling us cowards, because we have not killed them. And I'm saying to the Igbo, my generation will kill you like flies on an industrial scale. That is how we're going to deal with you. So if you have a society, a civilization, a nation whose leaders are constantly being killed, and such a nation do not revenge, they are slaves. So for anybody to actually rule Yoruba land, you must be brutal. Because research has shown that if you are brutal to Yoruba people, they will be fearful of you. That is why ridiculous people are saying nonsense about Igbo and Yoruba. We're not related with these guys. People who have shown 11 times that they will never vote for you, and we allow them to control Ladipo markets. We allow them to be in charge of computer village. We allow them to control movie industry. We allow them to be newscasters, to be radio presenters in our space. We allow them to strive in their business. White people don't think like that in America. People who are well educated, people who are exposed, people who have built sophisticated civilization, they do not do that. Try and do nonsense to white America, they will kill you. They will kill you. Yet they are more exposed than Yoruba. What is the level of education of the Yoruba people? What is our level of civilization as compared to the United States of America? What is it? Look at our healthcare, compare it with that of the United States of America. Look at our infrastructure, compare it with that of the United States of America. Look at our education, compare it with that of the United States of America. Look at jobs opportunity, compare that with that of the United States of America. United States of America is superior to Yoruba nation 100 times. Yet these superior beings, they will kill you if you undermine their interests. But you see Yoruba, they kill our leaders, we embrace the people who kill our leaders. So as a young man, I see what the Yoruba Obas are doing. So if I can threaten them with gun, they will prostrate for me. All these Yoruba Obas that are making ridiculous assertions all over the place, if you can kill them with chemical weapon, they will prostrate for us. Because that is what Igbo are doing to our leaders. Igbo come into our space and kill our own area on the Kakamfu. Fulani come into our space and kill our own area on the Kakamfu. So the Obas are saying to young Yoruba, if we get guns and fucking threaten them, then the Obas will prostrate for us. Because they are making ridiculous assertions to the public. They are undermining our civilization, making stupid statements. Some people send me a link. They say closed Facebook group being run by Igbo. They call it Friends of Oni of Ife, or by any or Gusi or Jajati too. They now change the name to Yoruba. They are all Igbos. They are now introducing this to some Yoruba who are unaware, and they are making ridiculous allegations. You know, Igbo are propagandists. Somebody sent it to me and said, look at grandson, what is going on? This is the ridiculous stage we are now because of unity system. Go and tell the African American to go and assassinate white leader. The way Igbo assassinated our first modern Ariano Kakanfo. Go and tell the black in America, let them go and assassinate President Trump if they will not die in their multitude. People who are well educated, they protect their civilization. Illiterate are too many in Yorubaland. Majority of our Oba are stupid. Majority of our politicians are idiots. We just put horrible people in power. They are not thinking about their own interests. Look at the Arewa youths threatening Tinubu. Sorry, if you make Tinubu president, can Arewa youth threaten Tinubu? Can they? They are threatening Tinubu because Buhari is in power. People don't know this game. They don't want to see. The only thing you talk about is there Ottoman Danfodio that was defeated in Kanuri land. I keep saying to people that we Yoruba, we civilized Kanuri people. We gave them clothes in 1950s. We have been wearing clothes since before 2nd centuries. We've been making Ofi. Just 1950, we civilized Kanuri people. We gave them clothing that was being manufactured in Yoruba, and we gave them cement. That was the only two things Awolowo needed to do to win their votes. Yeah. Tinubu brought out Ahmed Lawal in 2015. That was the agreement Tinubu had with Buhari in 2015. Saying that CPC Buhari will produce the presidential candidate, ACN Tinubu will produce the vice presidential candidate, and ACN will control the National Assembly, with Bajabi Amila taking charge of the House of Representatives and Ahmed Lawal taking charge of the Senate. Buhari reneged on that in 2015. That was the truth. Now, Arewa youth are concerned. You think Kanuri and Fulani, you think they like themselves? Continue to fool yourself. It is because power is in the hand of Fulani. That is where everybody has been subjugated in Nigeria. Take the power away from a Fulani, and put the power in the hands of Yoruba. That is when you will know that Kanuri people don't like Fulani. Kanuri people will be willing to kill Fulani. Ahmed Lawa should be the Senate president because he's a Kanuri man, he's not a Fulani man. It's not the Fulani. You think Fulani like it, that's why they are abusing Tinubu. But what you see about Libra, PDP, and horrible people who call themselves Afenifere, Adebanjo, Yemi, what is this idiot man? Yinka Odumaki, and this horrible man, Senator Okuromu, all of them are shithead people. Senator Okuromu that was with Jonathan saying no go area. There are certain areas that we cannot discuss at the national conference. Horrible, terrible people. You give them little money, they will be speaking shit from their mouth. Hopeless people. They don't know how wealthy Yoruba is. Every time they will be confronted Tinubu. If Tinubu is the president of Nigeria, all of them will be eating from Tinubu's hand. And Tinubu will be willing to give them position. Of course, they are Yoruba. But they are not thinking about the future. They are not thinking about the collective good of the Yoruba nation. All these are youth that are talking nonsense. Take power away from Fulani, hand it over to Yoruba. Fulani will keep quiet. That is when you will know that Kanuri people hates Fulani. Because they talk cornut. Kanuri people want Ahmed Lawa to be Senate president. Fulani don't want it. Buhari himself doesn't want it. Forget about the gimmick of what you should know politics. If they are going to elect next month, they can manipulate and put the other guy there, Undume or what is that? The other guy that was alleged to have founded Boko Haram. Yeah, that senator that is also coming from the northeast. Fulani would rather use him because the guy is open. He just need money. He just need position. Fulani will use him. They don't like Hamid Lawa. He's a fucking pure Kanuri man who doesn't have any sympathy for Fulani. But all of these things you cannot see because Fulani have been in power. Take power away from Fulani, you will know that there is nothing like one nut. There is nothing like one nut. So you have all of this Yoruba, they kill your leader, people who kill you, you go and vote for them. I have thought about it in a deep manner. I study Yoruba very well. I study Igbo very well. As a matter of fact, I have researched more on Igbo than Yoruba. The greatest research that I did about Yoruba is to separate us into two camps because we just realized that people who have liberal tendency are the people who have always been undermining Yoruba. And they will continue to undermine us because we've not treated them like the white treated the white Americans. Because we've not killed this Libra in Yorubaland. So they will continue to undermine us. But when you kill some of them, they will adjust and think Yoruba first. It has to happen. Because we can't continue like this. Anybody that is undermining the greatness of the Yoruba, killing our leader, Yoruba will just be supporting them. So for me, as a man who wants to lead Yorubaland, I see that as a prospect. I see it as an opportunity to lead Yoruba nation. If you kill them, they will be fearful of you. Obasanjo, sitting president, is Attorney General, handed over, saying that he's no longer interested, he's leaving. All his security. They left his house at the same time. Don't you know that Obasanjo is aware? A sitting Attorney General. Assassin came to his house with no security at home. Someone that should have security 24/7. Obasanjo killed him. Lamadeshina, before he died, he said it. Obasanjo on the phone rang Lamadeshina. He was the sitting governor dead. And it's confirmed from Lamadeshina. Is he dead? Lamadeshina said yes. Obasanjo dropped the phone. Obasanjo killed Bola Ige, yet he's still living. So what impression are you giving people like us who want to lead Yorubaland? You are telling us that the best way to lead Yorubaland is to fucking kill you. They kill you, Are Onokakanfo. Igbo kill you, Are Onokakanfo. Are Onokakanfo. Igbo murdered him in 1966. Igbo are everywhere in Yorubaland. So what you are saying to us that I can deal with all the Yoruba Obas. All of you will be fearful of me. That is it. Because our Obas are speaking rubbish. They are saying nonsense. Look at the other time. The one in the war was talking nonsense, calling himself. We send people there. We don't look. We have studied a lot of things across the world. We send him. We wanted to kill him because you continue to undermine the greatness of the Yoruba nation. If this continues, our children will never have a future. they will never have a future. People think to have forgotten everything. If the generation before us can remove Alaafin of Oyo, people don't know that Alaafin of Oyo is our president before the incursion of the English into our body politics. If ordinary Oyomesi can remove Alaafin of Oyo, so how much more is the current Oba that we have now? People who are scared of ordinary gun. Go and read the book, 201 Gods, written by Professor Ikuola. The professor is in Harvard. He wrote that book. Guys, if you know the book, you can correct me. 200 Gods. It's a book about Ile-Ife, the gods in Ile-Ife. 201 Gods or thereabout. I read it many years ago when that book came out. Inside that book, this professor was describing how Oni of Ife narrated to him, the late Oni of Ife. He traveled from Ife to Lagos in his country home in Lagos. He was there and armed robber came. Armed robbers. Igbo armed robber, they came with gun. Oni of Ife ran and was hiding under the table. That is the Oni of Ife. That is the head of state of Yorubaland. We used to call him spiritual head. He's the head of state. Our head of state doesn't even have security. It was written in that book. Inside that book, the author interviewed the wife of Oni of Ife, the late Oni of Ife. And he was challenging the wife. Why is it that you have accepted Christianity? Do you know the answer the wife of Oni of Ife gave? That some of his staff wanted visa to America. It is in that book. If you can help me to get the research of that book, 2 whole ones, so that I can give the people the real title of that book. You can go and confirm. I read it many years ago. The author asks Oni of Ife, why did you accept Jesus Christ? You know the answer? She said that many of his staff were praying to God to be granted American visa. And all of them were granted American visa. And that is why she's serving Jesus Christ. That is the wife of Oni of Ife. Our civilization has been destroyed many years ago. How can we be using that as a yardstick? White America developed their country. If they are like us, America wouldn't have been developed. But Awolowo generation developed Yorubaland. My parent generation that Awolowo handed over, they allowed Fulani to ruin everything. That's why ordinary armed robber went to Oni of Ife house in Lagos. Oni of Ife was hiding. That was why the wife of Oni of Ife said that they accepted Jesus Christ because Jesus Christ can grant people American visa. Why can't we build Yorubaland and make it great? Because white Americans build their own space and make it great. Our civilization is being eroded, and if we do not raise the fundamental issue, believe you me, Yorubaland, we are just going to be like Tunisia, Egypt, Libya, Morocco. Black people were there before. The Arabs killed all of them and took the place up. Igbo and Fulani will overrun the entire Yorubaland if we don't start killing these people. They will overrun our space completely. 9/11, we know what happened in America. We know how America reacted. They chased Osama bin Laden for years until they make sure they kill him. Go and kill Yoruba leaders. Yoruba will forget about it and be partying all over the place. People who are killing your leaders, they will then enslave you. So we're going to revenge for the killing of Akintola. It doesn't matter that he's been killed since 1966. We are going to revenge for the killing of MK Abiola. And I will tell you one thing. Our first modern Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò, his surname is Akintola. It has A there. The second one, his surname is Abiola. It has A. The current one, his surname is Adams. There is A. So it is this Adam that will revenge for the death of the 2 previous Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò before him. I can assure you that. I can give you that. So we're going to deal massively with Igbo. We're going to kill them because they have refused to allow a return to regional government as agreed, as negotiated before Nigeria independence. They have done that. Let me say something that happened. Let me see. So nobody got. Okay, there's none of you that even knows about that book. It's funny. Yoruba, you don't read. I'll give you the book title now. Olukbono, yeah, you see, I've seen it immediately. Olukbono is the author. This city of 201 gods, Ile-Ife in time, space, and imagination. You see, that is the title of the book. By Professor Olukbono, is very popular. Jacob K. Olukbono is the author. City of 201 gods, Ile-Ife in time, space, and the imagination. It is from that book that I read that Oni of Ife ran away from armed robbers. Yeah, our head of state doesn't have security. Imagine Queen of England running away from armed robbers. Imagine that. Belgium, they have king. Spain, they have king. Their head of states are their king. Imagine Queen of England running away from armed robber. Armed robber coming into the residence of Queen of England. But armed robbers came to the residence of Oni of Ife. It was there in that book. One thing I do is that I just like reading anyway. It was a very good book. So it's ridiculous. Our civilization has been eroded because of this unitary system. If you read a lot, you will be unhappy about how such an enviable civilization as Yoruba nation is just rubbish now. But for me, and for a lot of young Yoruba, if our Obas, if our political leaders can be afraid of guns, that means we can control them with guns. That is what it means. It means that they talk nonsense, we kill them with guns, they will be scared. Because people who cannot defend their own civilization, they are better dead. You can't treat white Americans like shit, like the way Yoruba have been treated. So there's something that happens on my Twitter. And then one of these organizations that is Yoruba, they pretended, they said they want restructuring, they said they want to do a republic. They are Libra. They just pretend. They did that all for election. This group of people led by one man from America, they will be erecting billboards all across Yorubaland and be writing something on it. I don't want to make mention. You will know, the organization, but my colleagues in Huawei, we know the organization, but I don't want to release their name. They are pretenders. They don't actually want restructuring. They don't want to do a republic. They just wanted money. They are Libra. They work mostly with the PDP, and they just wanted money. So they were the one who said this thing that South Africans, they gave me evidence of it, that South Africans are really watching my videos, and that they are saying that the Igbo are criminals, even in Yorubaland. Now, everybody seems to know Yoruba. So something happened on my Twitter handle. Late yesterday evening, there was this Kenya guy, I don't know him, and a Yoruba were in conversation, a Kenya. And this is, I'm going to read out what the Kenya guy wrote on Twitter. There was a video I posted on my Twitter account, and there were responses from many people. But this Kenya guy stood out. He was following me. There's another English guy that was following me, that they provide weapons and machineries for people who want to fight for their freedom. And they have watched my video and they realize that, wow, so Yoruba is under colonization. People don't really know that we are marginalized. People don't really know we're subjugated. People just think that Igbo are actually marginalized, but it's a lie. Igbo are not marginalized. People have nothing. They just want to take other people things. So this is the conversation between the Yoruba guy and this Kenya guy. I'm going to read what the Kenya guy said. He said, in my country, Kenya, the ethnic group that dominates the state is the Kikuyu, who are the most populous, the most economically productive ethnic groups in Kenya, in addition to sharing Bantu ethnicity with 70% of the Kenya population. So what this guy is saying, that the majority ethnic group in Kenya is Kikuyu people, and they are also the most productive, like the Yoruba. That's what he said. He went on. This is a Kenya guy on Twitter. You think we're not changing mind? He said, a unitary Nigeria state that transfers wealth from the other ethnicity towards the Fulani will be dysfunctional and will eventually fail. This is a Kenya writing this. He went on to add, he said, the Yoruba is an ancient nation. This is a Kenya man. The Yoruba is an ancient nation with a unique civilization, culture, and language. They have been arbitrarily placed in a unitary Nigerian state with very different people, and they don't gain anything from the unitary system. A Kenya. Go on, let us see what he went on. All of this I copied from Twitter. He said, without the economic resources and the productivity of the Yoruba and the South, he said South, but actually I believe he's referring to South. Let me take that again. He said, without the economic resources and the productivities of the Yoruba and the South, but like I said, he is referring to the South. He said, the North will be underdeveloped and the Fulani will not be able to have a privileged lifestyle. A Kenya man writing this, he went on to add, he said, the relationship between Nigerians' constituent nation is not reciprocal and unsustainable. Kenya man. Now, this is where the horrible Yoruba came in. Now, I'm going to give you the name of that Yoruba guy, but I'm not going to give you the name of that Kenya guy. The name of that Yoruba guy, you can find him on Twitter. He's a very stupid man. His name is Emmanuel Abiodun Oke. His Twitter handle is actually suspicious. He might be Igbo. His Twitter handle is Emma, EMMA _Noel, NOEL 25. That is it. Now, look at what the guy wrote that caused all the things that the other guy from Kenya was writing. This Yoruba guy said, personally, I wouldn't want to see things from the ethnocentric lens with anybody. Reason being that my allegiance is to Nigeria and fellow Nigerians. The ruling elites are the only benefactors. Greed. So this is a typical, useless, hopeless, horrible Yoruba that has responded. Look at the way a man at the Kenya guy from his own country, who is just watching my video, who has done his own little research about the Yoruba nation. Look at how he brilliantly resolved the problem of Nigeria. But this hopelessly and badly educated Emmanuel Abiodun Oke, typical liberal Yoruba who is pro one Nigeria, he says that the ruling elites are the problem. I have a topic on that already planned before I had access to this Twitter. If the ruling elites are the problem, tell the Fulani to allow Tinubu to be president of Nigeria. If the ruling elites are the problem, why is it that the Fulani deny MKO Abiola from being president of Nigeria? If the ruling elite had the problem, why is it that the Fulani brought out Obasanjo from prison to come and be president? Why not somebody who is not in prison? Why not somebody who has never been president before, but a Yoruba person? The ruling elite, there is nothing like that. This is what the stupid Libra are saying. The Fulani don't want Tinubu to be president. Tinubu is part of the ruling elite, but they don't want him to be president. The Fulani don't want Oshibajo to be president. They don't even like Fashola. They will look for a compromise Yoruba, like Obasanjo, like Tunde Bakare. If at all, a Yoruba must be president in their reckoning. The ruling elites are not the problem, because the ruling elites, they don't want Yoruba to be there. The problem of Nigeria is caused by the Igbo, who suspended regional government. The problem of Nigeria is sustained by the Igbo, who are scared to allow Nigeria to go back to regional government. For that, they are always supporting Fulani to be in power. Whenever Fulani are in power, they maintain the unitary system. So stupid Emmanuel Abiodun Oke, the ruling elite are not the problem. If the ruling elite are truly the problem, tell the ruling elite to put Tinubu as president. It's part of the ruling elite. Make Tinubu president of Nigeria, whether Yoruba will build the way it is. Make Tinubu president of Nigeria, whether Kwara and Kogi will still be part of North Central. Make Tinubu president of Nigeria, whether Akoko Edo will still be part of Akoko's Edo State. Make Tinubu president of Nigeria, whether the shit the governor of Delta State is doing in Delta by dividing Ishekiri land and sharing it up with Ijo and Urobo, whether that will continue under Tinubu presidency. It is not elite's problem. It is the Igbo and the Fulani who want the unity system to continue. Somebody from Kenya has a brilliant mind than Yoruba. Yoruba don't have, they just have certificates. They have certificates all over the place, but lack intelligence. What happened in Kenya in 2011, folks? If you check this book, I made reference to that when I wrote this book. In 2011, this Kenya, Kikuyi, and another tribe, they were another ethnic group, forgive me, they were killing themselves. They were killing themselves to become president. What happened? How did they resolve the problem? They adopted regional system of government. That was how they resolved the problem in Kenya. They adopted regional system of government. I said to you, because my colleagues in YYF, we do random statistics. A number of Igbo are watching me more than Yoruba. The Yoruba that we are actually fighting for, they don't really watch me. But I just got the information that foreigners who are in Africa are actually watching me massively. But my deputy once told me that African Americans do watch me a lot. That they are actually getting knowledge of what we say. But the Yoruba that we're dying and doing all of these things, they are not even appreciating it. You understand? They are not even appreciating what we do. So you see, that brilliant mind of a Kenya guy, he solved the problem of Nigeria. He understands perfectly well the problem. But the horrible Yoruba guy, he's just talking nonsense. He's just talking shit. Horrible thing. Folks, you know we have too many Obas in Yorubaland. So if you look at my book, we only acknowledge 35. It's too many Obas. 35. And they are not coordinating things. We're not going to all everybody just Oba. If you pick up a copy of this book, I don't know, it's free. I give people free. But if you are going to buy it on Amazon, you pay £5. Or $4.99 or so. But I gave it for people free. I've been doing it. All the book I have been writing, I give out it for free. I wrote one beautiful one. I don't have it here now. Beautiful one about local governments. How your local government works. Beautiful. I gave it out for free. So because we want to give knowledge to young Yoruba. So if you see, we recognize only 35 Obas because we have too many Obas. And our Obas tend to be irresponsible sometimes. They just talk nonsense. But this afternoon, what I had in mind to discuss about is very interesting. I just want to sharpen your insight into certain things that you don't know how wealthy we are as Yoruba people. What is the book, sir? How are you talking about? Damn history. You called me today. I'm sorry, I didn't. You talk about the book, The Commonwealth of the Yoruba Kingdom, or you're referring to the book I quoted about Ife. The 201 gods, Ile Ife in time and space and stuff like that by Professor Olukbono. Oh, you bought the Commonwealth of the Yoruba Kingdom. Oh, that's nice. Thanks so much. I put a lot of ideas in that book. There's another one that we should have produced, but I've been very busy, folks. It's not easy for me. Let me sharpen your mind into certain things that you don't know that is costing us a lot of help. You know that if you have a bank account with First Bank, for instance, and you go and use Union Bank ATM, we don't call it ATM machine. We call it cash machine here. Our own is very different in Nigeria, but here in England, we call it cash machine. But in Nigeria, they call it ATM machine. So if you have an account with First Bank, and you go and use ATM machine with Union Bank, you know they will charge you 65 naira per transaction. You know who conceived the idea? You know the Igbo governor of the CBN during Jonathan era. You know, they wanted to use your money to fund Jonathan presidency. They indeed got a lot of money. So, but this is what you have forgotten about these things. But we do keep records. We do keep records as well, to sharpen your insight into a number of things that is going on. Now, If you pay £65, the 65 naira, forgive me, for using another bank's ATM machine other than the one you bank with, you pay 65. You have an idea. You don't have this. Majority don't know it. Do you know that we have 11,800 ATM machines across Nigeria? 11,800 ATM machines across Nigeria. See, this is some of the things we do. You just don't go online to obtain some of this information. You need money to do research to get this facts. 11,800 ATM machines, that's what we have in Nigeria. Okay, let me shock you further. Of these 11,800 machines, 60% of these ATM machines are in Lagos. Remember, you don't know the power you have. You don't know the power you have it at all. If you have money, you are powerful. Somalia is not reckoned with because they don't have wealth. Make President Trump the president of Somalia. Nobody will hear from him forever. Even if he's going to leave and spend 100 camps as president of Somalia, nobody will hear a word about it. There's no money in Somalia. We hear so much about President Trump because America is wealthy. We hear so much about the leader of China because it's a wealthy country. We hear so much about Putin because Russia is a wealthy country. Yoruba, you have money, but you don't know. You don't even know that you are wealthy. Somebody who is very rich, you don't know. Fulani and Igbo should bow down for you, Yoruba. Not the other way around. Why will any Yoruba be second-class citizens to Fulani who don't have any money? But they control the presidency. So they control the presidency under unitary system. We have 11,800 ATM machines across Nigeria. 11,000. 60% of this machine are in Lagos. That is 7,080. The rest of Yoruba nation, Kwara, part of Kogi, Akoko Edo, part of Ishekiri, Oyo, Ogun, Ondo, Osun, and Ekiti State. We have 80% of the total ATM machines across Nigeria. 80% of the total ATM machine in Nigeria is in Yorubaland. That is 9,440 machines. ATM machine. That is what we have. Every day, over 10 million withdrawals are made in Nigeria. Over 10 million withdrawals daily. You know, with an estimated 6.5 billion as daily ATM charges. Meaning that 80% of the 6.5 billion is paid as ATM charges in Yorubaland. You know what you can do with 6.5 million every day? So you think if we get this money under regional government, 6.5 billion from the charges from ATM, do you know what we can do with our education, with our healthcare? Where is the money going to? According to the CBN governor, he was the Igbo man then who conceived the idea to charge you. They wanted to use that charge to fund Jonathan presidency before 2015. They tell you the CBN governor said then when he wanted to introduce this, he said the charges is for banks to maintain their infrastructures associated with cash management. That is what he wanted to use that for. This is to further deplete the Yoruba wealth. You have 11,800 ATM cash machine. Many people are not taking observance. They are not cognizant of what is going on around them. So that's why Yoruba nation is poor. 11,800 cash machine. And 80% of it, that is 9,444, are in Yorubaland. You are the heartbeat of Nigeria. If the entire Yorubaland is destroyed, Nigeria will go down. So that power you have is what you use to rule over Fulani and the Igbo. That is the power. But you are not taking advantage of that. That is why Arewa youth are insulting Tinubu, saying that the Tinubu should never open his mouth to talk down at Saraki and Dogara. The reports are there. 6 hours ago, I read it. People who have no money. But you that have money, it is like me, Adeyinka, threatening Adenuga. Sorry, Talujeko Bayara on General Amijiji. Adenuga with Convoy, with Globacom. He used to have another bank, said, I think the Fulani have collapsed that bank. As wealthy as that man is, for me to be dictating for him, is that a possibility? But Fulani with no wealth, they just dictate for the Yoruba nation. People with no wealth. It is like African America dictating to the white race in America. Minority with no wealth. It is like minority Scottish dictating for the English in Britain. English with majority and massive wealth. So we have a problem. We have this wealth, yet we don't have qualitative healthcare in Yorubaland. We don't have qualitative education in Yorubaland. We don't have affordable housing for all in Yorubaland. We don't have job security in Yorubaland. We don't have security of lives and property. What are you doing with all this wealth? Fulani are controlling it. That is why the Kenya guy said that without the wealth of the Yoruba nation, Fulani lifestyle would never have been. So you see, the problem the Yoruba nation has is this. The Yoruba nation thinks that because they are drinking bottled water, Hausa Fulani too must drink bottled water. They think that it is their responsibility to provide bottled water for Hausa Fulani. The Yoruba nation is not thinking that Hausa Fulani, they have their own political leader. It is their own responsibility to provide bottled water for Hausa Fulani. It is not the responsibility of the Yoruba nation. I'll give you an example. In UK, if you are diagnosed with cancer and you live in England, you will wait 6 months to start treatment in England. If you are diagnosed with cancer and you live in Scotland, you will start treatment immediately. Why? Because in England, there are 55.64 million people. But in Scotland, they only have 5.4 million people. So they have their own wealth, and their wealth can take care of their 5.4 million people. So if you are diagnosed with cancer in Scotland, you start treatment immediately. Because they have 55.4 million people in England, they have money to do other essential things. So they prioritize things. When you are diagnosed with cancer, you have to wait for 6 months to be on the queue before it can reach you. But if they have been practicing unitary system, Scotland will also be waiting 6 months before they can receive cancer treatment. In UK, England, which is a part of the UK, you don't pay school fees in your primary school and your secondary school. But if you go to university, you pay school fees. In the same UK, where Scotland is also a region, you don't pay school fees in primary school, secondary school, and university. So if they are running unitary system, the same thing that is happening to them in England will also happen to them in Scotland. They will be paying school fees in their university in Scotland. But they are not paying school fees in their university in Scotland, but they are paying school fees in university in England because they are regional government. They run regional system of government. So Yoruba thinks that because everybody in the north looks poor, it is the responsibility of Yoruba to take care of them. That is how they are foolish. It is not your responsibility. There are Yoruba in Benin Republic. Are we thinking about how they are faring? No. There are Yoruba in Togo. Are we thinking about their welfare? No. But why must we think about the Hausa Fulani in Sokoto, Kano, Kaduna? It is the responsibility of their respective leaders. This is one thing the Yoruba nation must get into their head. We go hungry day and night in Yorubaland. In England, they throw food away. They throw food away. We wear second-hand clothing in Yorubaland. They don't wear second-hand clothing in England. So why is it that you don't say that everybody must be equal across the world? So if we are wearing second-hand clothing in Yorubaland, they must wear second-hand clothing in England. So this is one thing the Yoruba Libra don't understand. They tell you, people are poor in the north. They don't even know the definition of poverty. They don't know the definition of poverty. I'm just giving you an example. We have 11,800 ATM machines in Nigeria. 9,044 is in Yorubaland. We are getting 6.5 billion from the charges on a daily basis. This money goes to Abuja. This money is essentially generated in Yorubaland, but it goes to Abuja. 6.5 billion every day. When it gets to Abuja, Hausa Fulani that have contributed absolutely nothing to this 6.5 billion, they will take the lion's share, and you say they are poor. You don't even know the definition of poverty. You work and get paid 100 naira. Me, that I've been having sex with one woman after another without going to work, I will take 35 naira of your 100 naira. You that you have been working, you will be given 8 naira of your own 100 naira. Are you not the poorest? That is how the Yoruba nation has been treated. But it defies logic that even the Yoruba Oba have no clue about this. Even the Yoruba political leaders, they have no clue about this. The only man that has a clue about this, Tinubu, the Yoruba Libra, want him dead by all means necessary. You see the propaganda that is coming from the Fulani. We understand one thing. It is only a stupid general that opened too many war fronts. The Igbo are the #1 enemy of the Yoruba nation. Without the support of the Igbo for the Fulani political interest, Fulani will never be ruling in Nigeria. If the PDP had produced Fayose perhaps would be elected president of Nigeria. But the Igbo refused that and brought out another Fulani in Atiku. So you see, head or tail, the Fulani will have been president in 2019. Yes, we have Buhari there. So it is the Igbo who brought him to power. So we need to identify our #1 enemy and deal with them squarely and promptly. Then we face this Fulani. All this nonsense from Arewa youths. Take the power away from Fulani. You will never hear bam from them. If we go back to regional government, you think Fulani will support regional government? Whether it is Atiku or Buhari, both of them will never support a return to regional government. Both of them will never support it. The Igbo are not interested. See, this is what they came up with, to steal your wealth. There's no wealth in Igbo land. There's no wealth in Igbo land. So they will never support it. The Igbo will tell you, they are very dishonest, you know. The Igbo are very dishonest. They will tell you, oh, we support restructuring. They don't support restructuring. They do not. They are criminal. Yeah, you're very correct, Princess Mo. We don't think Yoruba first. In all we do, we don't think Yoruba. It is the Libra. They don't think Yoruba first. If they are having sex with Igbo, they want Igbo to continue to kill Yoruba in Yorubaland. They want Igbo to have equal rights to jobs in Yorubaland because they are having sex with Igbo. Yes, I used to have an English girlfriend, but the English don't respect me. They look at my ethnicity as Yoruba and my skin as an African man. They discriminate against me. They're telling me I can only wash toilet with my master's degree. But in Yorubaland, when you are sleeping with an Igbo, is an idiot. Said, okay, Igbo must come into Yorubaland and do the same job as Yoruba people. In Yorubaland, are we doing the same job as them in their own space? So we don't think Yoruba first, and that is the problem of the Libra. So in this conversation that I was reading with you about the Kenya guy and the Yoruba idiot who made mention of it, let me repeat his name. It's an idiot guy, Emmanuel Abiodun. I never responded to him anyway. I just looked. So there was an Igbo man that joined the conversation. A Kenya man is educating Yoruba. The Igbo guy said, but it is the federal money that built Yoruba land. That is always their argument. They are horrible people. But I responded to that guy. I don't really respond to Yoruba idiots. And I said to him, you said Igbo have oil, right? Why are you rejecting regional government? Because under regional government, you control your oil. The guy said, we want Biafra. He cannot give me any other reason. And I said, that means that you don't have oil. He responded, said, we have oil. And I said, very simple. If you have oil, why not support regional government so that you can control your oil? He responded, no, we don't want regional government. And that is what we have always been saying to the Yoruba Libra. Particularly these stupid, very idiot people. They're just useless. I don't understand that Afenifere. How can somebody be a member of Afenifere and the day you die, that is when you leave the leadership? Even if you are 150 years, you will still be the leader of Afenifere. Are these people so stupid? All of them should have just gone and retired and be playing with their grandchildren. Allow young people, 16, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65 to be in charge of Afenifere. But all of them, to their area, they will be talking rubbish. They even have the people who cannot even read newspaper anymore. They'll be saying they are Afenifere. They say, oh, we're supporting Atiku because he supports restructuring. Atiku never supported restructuring. He never supported restructuring. Saying about restructuring is not enough to say somebody supported restructuring. The only man that supports restructuring is Tinubu. Put Tinubu as president of Nigeria, whether it's not going to give you restructuring. So when the Igbo say to us, we support restructuring, they don't. You know, they had a meeting in their Anambra on 21st of May last year. It will be 1 year now. They said they want rotational presidency of 6 years. The desire of the Igbo is to capture, to rule. Even their friend, Fulani, they don't trust them. So they said they want rotational presidency. So a president will be there for 6 years. Igbo will be, Fulani will be there now. It does 6 years. He give it to Yoruba. It does 6 years. He give it to Igbo. It does 6 years. That way, Igbo are just looking to capture power. So when they capture power, they want to destroy the system further and perpetrated themselves like they did. Where in the world are people doing rotational presidency? Sorry, is America doing rotational presidency between black race and white race? No. In England, is there rotational premiership between the English and the Scottish? No. But that is the idea of the Igbo. They know they don't have anything. They are looking for that presidential power to kill Yoruba, to mess our life up. That was why their leader on the 21st of May 2018, first of the recommendation, they made about 10 recommendations. Their first one is rotational presidency. That is the kind of restructuring they want. Go and tell African America to start asking white America for rotational presidency, if that will ever be the case. In a society, if you have the population and you have the money, you rule over others. These are two factors that are necessary in a multicultural country. America is a multiracial country. The white is the majority, the black is the minority. So everywhere, majority must rule and dominate the minority. It should be the case in Nigeria because we Yoruba, we're the majority in terms of the population of Nigeria, and we are the economic backbone. People don't live in the desert. People live in the coastal area. That's why everybody wants to live and die in Yoruba. So the Igbo said they want rotational presidency of the president and governor of the 36 states. The Yoruba said no. In our own restructuring that we pushed across, remember Liberty Stadium, Adamasingba in Ibadan 2017, the Yoruba said we want to go back to the 1963 constitution. We don't want rotational presidency. The Igbo said they want rotational presidency. Very ridiculous people. The second thing that the Igbo nation said they wanted in their restructuring, they said they wanted the 36 state federating as the federating unit. The 36 state that we have under unitary system is fraudulent. The Yoruba said we want regions as federating unit. When we had our independence, the states were not recognized. It was the ethnic nationalities that made up Nigeria that were recognized. Ethnic nationalities. In Britain, it was the ethnic nationality that were recognized. England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. These are the 4 regions. In Nigeria, the Yoruba, Hausa, Fulani, and the Igbo were the ethnic nationality that were recognized. That makes them 3 regions. And we put it in our constitution. It was a proviso that the minority in these 3 regions must be given their own region. Nobody subscribed to state as federating unit. The state as federating unit pays the Igbo and the Fulani. How? When you have this smaller unit, it's a feudal system. So the Igbo can move from their ridiculous state and come to Ogun State unregulated. The Fulani, if they get the power, they can dictate to all the Yoruba governors. So state will not pay us. But if we go back to regional government, so we have 1 region, Yoruba region. So everybody speaking Yoruba will be in that region. we have Igbo region, we have Hausa Fulani region. Each region will have their own prime minister. So if the prime minister of Yoruba says, nobody can come into any of the Yoruba states, Igbo won't be able to come. Because as the prime minister, it dominates all over state. It controls all the state. So if there is a policy from the prime minister that you cannot vote in Yorubaland if you are not Yoruba, nobody can vote in any Yoruba state who is not Yoruba. You see, that way, the prime minister will be so powerful, it cannot be dictated to by the Hausa Fulani or by the Igbo. But when you have these ridiculous smaller states, the Igbo want unrestricted access into it. Fulani want to control them. So the Igbo said they want the 36 states as federating unit. But in our own restructuring meeting we had in Ibadan, we said we want regional government because Nigeria was made up by ethnic nationality, not by ridiculous states. You see, the Igbo, they will tell you forever, we support you. They do not. They are criminals. And they are very, very dishonest. They will never change. It is unfortunate that they are now using the office of Oni of Ife to do propaganda. Look, I remember, I have to warn you, Igbo. Shebi Oni of Ife said he's inviting you for Ade Festival. Believe you me, to God who created us. If you come for Ade Festival, we'll kill you that place in Osun State, Ife. We are going to kill you. Come for Ade Festival. The other time I said to you, if you vote, I spoke with a number of people over this Ade Festival things, and they gave me their support that I should say to you, we dare you to come. We, the Yoruba people, will appoint our leaders as kings. They are the intermediary between God and human being. We respect them. And we can remove them. So Igbo, you come for our Ade Festival. We are going to kill you. We don't want you. We don't want you because you don't support our political interests and you have always been committing crimes across Yorubaland. So this must end. You are the one who are putting Fulani in power. It must end. And you want Tinubu dead. We're going to kill you. You kill our first modern area of Kakafu. We are going to take our own pound of flesh. You come for Ade Festival. You come. It's next year, the next one. You come. We are going to remind you. No, so folks, that was the second thing that the Yoruba nation demanded in terms of regional government and in terms of restructuring. The Igbo want the 36th ridiculous state. The Yoruba want regional government. Number 3, the Igbo said they want 6 vice presidents to be elected from the geopolitical zone. They want 6 people to deputize 1 president. You know, when they were interviewed, Soludo was the one talking. And they asked Soludo, why is it that you want 6 deputy presidents? They said that, if the president dies, one of the deputy from his region can replace him. You can see how stupid the Igbo nation are. They are just not serious. They are not industrious. Forget what Oni of Ife said that they are industrious. Igbo are not industrious. Igbo are criminals. Industrious people build their society. They make their society great. Is Igbo great? How many people want to go and live in Igbo? It is Yoruba people who are industrious. We have built our space that everybody wants to come and die there. White Americans are industrious. The English are industrious people. The Russians are industrious people. People who have been able to build their own society are industrious. Go and use your English Oxford Dictionary to check for industrious people. People who build their society. So the Igbo said they wanted 6 vice presidents. You know what the Yoruba said? Yoruba said we should appoint 6 prime ministers. You see, Yoruba are serious-minded people. You understand? People are very dishonest. They said they want 6 deputy presidents. Afenifere, Yoruba Council of Elders, and all the Yoruba in 2017, we said we want prime ministers for the regions. 6 prime ministers. You see, we don't desire the same thing because the state of mind of the Igbo is how to capture the center and use the power of the presidency to destroy Yoruba nation. Number 4, the Igbo said that the federal government should create 1 additional state for the Igbo. That is what they have always been. Their entire landmass is 11,355 square kilometers. It's about the same size of Oyo State. From their ridiculous 11,355 square kilometers, they have obtained 5 states. And all these 5 states are drawing allocation from Abuja every month. If we stop that ridiculous allocation, how are they going to survive? Yet they said the federal government should give them additional state. You know the response of the Yoruba? The Yoruba said, no, the federal government should not create states. The regions should create the states. So we said to the Igbo, if you want 1 million state, go and create it yourself. In your region, federal government will not create state for you. They wanted federal government to create state so that they can continue with this monthly allocation. That is, Igbo are going to be forked. I have something in my mind that when a people are so poor, those who are rich must take advantage of them. Like I said it something. I've thought about it, this idea. I look at my living room and I said in my mind that everything in that living room shall be produced in Yorubaland, and we are going to be selling them to Igbo. Your bulb, your furniture, your glass door, your kitchen soap, your plates, everything in the household, we will produce it in Yorubaland and we'll sell it to the Igbo. They can't produce it. Believe you me, they can't produce it. If they can produce it, they should support regional government. They should support regional government because they are not industrious. That was why they said federal government should create states. And why should federal government create states? Because this is what the Igbo introduced in 1966. Region must create states. That is what the Yoruba said. Number 4, the Igbo said that in their own research, they said we should scrap local government. It's unfortunate that Igbo people have been congregated together with Yoruba. These guys are Igbo people. They have local government in America, have local government everywhere. This is what I never created. This is what you can see. Igbo restructuring. Soludo was the one speaking to the public about this. Igbo have born criminals. In their own restructuring, they said that we should scrap local government. Yoruba says state should create local government. Oh God. That was what the Kenya guy said. Let me read what the Kenya guy said. Yoruba is an ancient nation with a unique civilization, culture, and language. They have been arbitrarily placed in a unitary Nigerian state with very different people, and they don't gain anything from the unity system. This is from Kenya. Very different people. How can anybody be advocating that local government should be scrapped? The closest government to the people. You can look at the state of mind of the Igbo, how they can steal the wealth of others. That's what they're thinking about. Now, they made recommendation. Another one is very fun. It's the if you don't like cattle colony, Igbo twisted it. They changed cattle colony and turned it into state residency. That was the 6th recommendation. They said they recommended the scrapping of state of origin and its replacement with residential right, whereby a Nigerian will have full right in any place he or she resides for 10 years. Look, imagine you now with your age, had 50 years to your age, as you are watching me now, had 50 years to your age. If Yoruba continues to allow unity system in 50 years' time, believe you me, there will nothing be Europe. There will nothing like Yorubaland. It will have been eroded. Every civilization will have been eroded. Look at what the Igbo are saying. They say that state of origin should be scrapped and replaced with residential right, whereby anywhere you are as a Nigerian, you have full rights in that space. What is the difference between cattle colony to residential right? There's no difference. So, but you see the Igbo, they shout on top of their voice, Fulani are going to Islamize Nigeria. They are bringing cattle colony. Fulani are saying, if I bring my cattle here today, I can do whatever I like there. Igbo are saying, if I leave my Igbo land today and get into Yoruba land, I have equal right as you. There's no difference between cattle colony and residential right. Nothing different. That is the state of mind of dishonest people. They just want to take your land. That's why they are raping our women. These guys, it's not as if they want to take Yoruba land 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. A lifetime project for them. A lifetime project. There's a group that has done research of abandoned children in Yoruba land. They are predominantly fathered by Igbo. I'm going to discuss their research because I said to them, I need facts. Don't give me bullshit. Because so many people rely on us. They will have to cross-check. Abandoned children. But they took their statistics, you won't believe it. They took their statistic in Ibadan. Not even Lagos. In Ibadan, they've spoken to some women. Where is the father of this child? He's in Imo State. Where is the one for this? He's from Anambra. Abandoned children across Yorubaland, fathered by Igbo. These guys have a lifetime project to subjugate you, Yoruba. So that was what they said. They said that we should remove state of origin and replace it with residential right. The recommendation of the Yoruba was that we should decentralize all the security apparatus, police and armed forces, and replace them with regional police and regional regimental armed forces. Igbo don't want that. Igbo knows the implication. Nobody wants state police like some of our politicians who are Yoruba are saying. We want federal police, Abuja, regional police that will be Yoruba police. Within the Yoruba regions, the states within Yoruba region will have their own police. Lagos police, Oyo State police and the rest. Within the Lagos state, the local government will have their own police, local policing. That is the structure that we want under a regional government. Igbo don't want that. They know the implication, folks. Look, if we have regional police and there's a police called Yoruba Police Service wearing a badge of Yoruba, Igbo armed robbery will go down. Igbo kidnapping will go down. Fake drug, fake products being sold in Yoruba land by Igbo will go down. Vandalism will go down. Every Igbo crime will go down because people are carrying the badge, Yoruba Police Service. And Igbo do shit. Just say your last prayer to God because you are going to die. So all the criminal activities of Igbo will come down. But do you see them pushing for regional police? No. Look at Atiku that they were praising. I read Atiku development policy. He said that he's not going to support state police. They call it state police. We want regional police. He said he's not going to support state police because the state will abuse it. If he's going to allow state police, he won't allow arms and ammunition to be controlled by the state. When you give people power to police themselves and you are seizing the power of arms and ammunition, they don't want state police, folks. Fulani don't want state police because they know if we have regional police, we don't support state police, by the way. We support regional police. So we get the discrepancy right. Regional police, that is federal police that will be at Abuja to deal with federal crimes. Federal crime in the sense that if you are Igbo, you committed an offense in Yoruba land and you disappear to Igbo land, federal police can get involved and go to Igbo land, liaise with the regional police there to get you, bring you to trial in federal courts because you've crossed from one region to another. So you go to federal courts. So we have federal police, we have regional police, we have state police, and we have local police, which is local government police. Now, Fulani don't want that. If we have regional police, all of this shit Fulani are doing, Fulani headsmen, or Arewa will just open their mouth and say, oh, rubbish. When we have regional police by Yoruba, we control our police, we harm them. We send our police to the best police school abroad. When they come back, our police will be more sophisticated than the Igbo regional army, than the Hausa Fulani regional army. But Fulani is scared because they want to suppress you. If anybody wants to suppress you, they use gun. They don't use their mouth. Weapon. They use weapon to suppress you. If America want to fight, they won't use their hand. That's why they are building their military. Everybody wants to build sophisticated military. So Fulani don't want you to control even police, not to talk about military. But in America, white people, they control their police in the States. They control their military. But Fulani and the Igbo don't want that, because if we do, Jesus Christi, if we have a decentralized police and a decentralized military in Nigeria, it is finished for Fulani and the Igbo in Yorubaland. They know. That's why they will not support it. But you know, it will come. It will come. But it will come with bloodbaths. That is the truth. There will be a generation that will always come to end slavery. Like what I was saying. And I was saying to people, you cannot say to me, I'm not a slave. My children are not slaves. Because slavery started in 1851 and ended in 1951. My great-grandparents were not enslaved, but my grandparents were enslaved. But my parents fought against slavery, even though they were also enslaved. They fought against slavery and ended slavery before I was born. So when you talk about slavery, it is a particular period of time, 1851 to 1951. I wasn't born a slave. My parents were born into slavery because the English were still colonizing us. My grandparents were never born into slavery, but they were enslaved. But my great-grandparents were never enslaved. That was why we said to Pastor Samadeyemi that Shango was never enslaved, but Jesus Christ was enslaved by the Romans. So people who are talking about slavery, slavery only affected our grandparents and our parents. Slavery never affected me. My parents fought against it. So what I'm going to do now, my generation will do, we're going to fight against the Fulani and the Igbo using feudal system to steal our wealth so that our children will live a better life. And it will never, we are going to write it and put it in our book so that our children can read it, and we are going to remind them they must never make the slightest mistake of being recolonized by anybody. So they must build their military base. That's what we're going to impart on our children. Igbo and Fulani, they don't want this decentralization of the police and the military. The only reason they don't want that is that if they do that, freedom has come. These are people that are shouting Biafra, Biafra, Biafra. Yet they don't want to control their police. All these IPOP idiots, if they support regional government and they control their police, they control their military, is that not a sufficient means for them to get their own shit Biafra? It's actually Biafra because there's nothing like Biafra. They are just using it to retain the unity system. People who are shouting Biafra, you ask a people asking for freedom that have your own police, have your own military. They said, no, we want Biafra. Don't you know that they are stupid people? They are not stupid, actually, they are propagandists. What they actually want is the continuation of unity system. So that is where, under unity system, you don't have your own police. It is whoever is the president who controls every one of you. That's why you see EFCC officials who are Fulani arresting our children. You know, I was privileged to meet a number of young Yoruba, and I said to them, you have to kill these EFCC officials and the SAS police that are killing you. I told them, you can get guns. You are doing you do shit your court system in your fucking university. You are killing yourself. Use that same weapon that you are using to kill yourself to kill this EFCC official and police in Yorubaland, who are foreigners, who are not Yoruba people, but Hausa, Fulani, and Igbo. You kill them. You don't see that EFCC, they are adjusting their shit that they are doing in Yorubaland. They are horrible people. They kill you. They kill you. They kill you. You embrace people who are killing you. You embrace people who are killing you. They will destroy you. So the number 7 thing is that they said that resources control for the states where natural resources are exploited. The Yoruba are saying that the regions should control their resources found within their boundaries and the revenue accrue therein. Number 8, the Igbo said that they recommended, that is their recommendation, folks, they recommend the unitary presidential system. They made that, they utter it from their mouth. Soludo said it. Go and read Igbo. Let me give you the, under the umbrella of Ohaneze Indibo, they met in Oka, Anambra State on the 21st of May 2018. Go and read their recommendation online. Their number 8 recommendation they recommended for unitary presidential system of government. Yoruba, when we had our whole restructuring meeting, we recommend regional parliamentary system of government. So you can see, folks, don't let us push it ourselves. You can see that Igbo, the only thing, all this holy, now the kind of shit they are doing, they've stopped now. Their latest propaganda is that they are Yoruba, and they are pushing that narration using the office of the Oni of Ife, unfortunately. They don't want anything other than this system. This system that we're using, it pays your Igbo and Hausa Fulani. Igbo don't want it to end. 2023, if Nigeria remains a going concern, Igbo will line up at the back of a Fulani and vote for them. That is it. They will vote for them. So we are going to kill these people before then. 4 years is too long. By the time we decimate Igbo in Yorubaland this year, they will be the one that they will put Tinubu, they will put Oshibadu, they will put Fashola in their head and be shouting the way they are supporting Fulani. But I know one thing, when we start killing the Igbo, Fulani will use the military to support them. We are targeting them. Lagos must be shut down. Lagos must be destroyed completely. If we do not destroy Lagos, we will not get our freedom. And if we destroy Lagos, give Yoruba nation 10 years, we will shock the world. We will shock the world. So folks, this campaign is about Igbo. They are the #1 problem of the Yoruba nation. Igbo nation is the problem of Nigeria. They are criminally minded. They were the people who destroyed the regional government. They perpetrated unity system. And Fulani, who tested unity system, are now maintaining it. So the solution is to first of all deal squarely and precisely with our real enemy, the Igbo. The Igbo are our real enemy. If you have a friend that you allow your friend to stay in your house and that friend is sleeping with your husband, are you going to allow your friend to continue to remain in your house? Or if you have a friend and you allow that friend to live in your house and he is having carnal knowledge of your wife and to your knowledge, what are you going to do as a man? You continue to allow the man to remain in your household, or you chase him out, including your wife. This is what the Igbo nation are doing to us. They move into our space unregulated. They are constituting nuisance into our space. We never invited them. So they come into our space involved in all manners of criminal activities. They use the proceeds of crime to buy up properties across Yorubaland and to take over our markets. In the process, they have killed a number of Yoruba people. And whenever election is coming, where they are not living, the Hausa Fulani not, they will line up and vote for them. And these people have been killing them since 1945. Every election time, the Igbo only support Fulani. Every election time, they support Fulani. Anybody that Fulani is supporting, like Obasanjo, they voted for him. Anybody that Fulani backs politically, the Igbo are there. So if you know this, and we continue to allow these people to live in our society, in Yorubaland, unmolested, they are then going to finish us. Let us learn from white America. You do shit to them, they will track you and they will make sure they kill you. They will never take the excesses of the Igbo the way we have taken the excesses of the Igbo. Whoever is the president of Nigeria dominates everybody because we run unity system. Unity system is destroying us. It is the reason why I cannot provide qualitative healthcare for my son. I have to come to this country and I remain in this hell, unable to attain my full human potential. It is the unity system why the best of our brains who are Yoruba are scattered all over the world. It is the unity system why our children are involved in Yahoo Yahoo. They are involved in money ritual and our guests are involved in prostitution. It is the unity system why 70 babies die every day in Yorubaland. It is the unity system why 200 Yoruba children are dying every day from sanitation-related diarrhea. It is the unity system why we don't have qualitative health care. It is the unity system why our education is in shambles in Yorubaland. It is the unity system why we cannot control our police in Yorubaland. We cannot control our immigration in Yorubaland. We cannot control our custom in Yorubaland. We cannot control our port in Yorubaland. We cannot control our prison in Yorubaland. We cannot control our military in Yorubaland. We cannot control the taxes paid in Yorubaland. It is the unity system why we are miserable people. Yoruba, we are only 60 million. I was watching the news in Nigeria yesterday, whereby this man, Minister for Labor, Ngige, he's a medical doctor. He said it is good for Nigerian doctor to go abroad and acquire brain. Majority of people don't know that 95% of Nigerian doctors are Yoruba. Igbo don't have doctors. Hausa Fulani don't have doctors. These guys don't have brain. We train our children from primary school to secondary school up to university as doctor. They are helping to save life in America. They are helping to save life abroad, across European countries. Yet malaria is killing us. It is because of the unity system. We have so much taxes in Yorubaland. Look, for instance, Tinkerport generates 4 trillion naira. 4 trillion naira every year. 10% of 4 trillion is 400 billion. If we put 400 billion into our health sector for salaries and allowances from Tinkerport, power of generates 6 trillion. 10% of 6 trillion is 600 billion. If we had 600 billion for plus 400 billion, that is from 400 million, 400 billion. That is a huge lot of money to take care of our healthcare. So our children will not be running away to North America, and they will not be running away to other European countries. Unitary system is destroying Yorubaland. We are only 6 million. Ngige was saying, you can see Indian doctors all over the world. India has a population of 1.3 billion. 1.3 billion. The rate at which they produce doctors is higher than what we produce. We are only 6 million. We cannot afford our doctors to be going to America, to be going to Canada, to work in England. We need doctors to help to treat our people. But Ngige, horrible man, he doesn't care because Igbo are not producing doctors. 95% of Nigerian doctors are Yoruba citizens. We cannot allow horrible people to be in the same country with us. They are going to destroy our civilization. Our mates, our contemporaries are the white Americans, the English, the Germans, the Chinese, the Japanese, the Russians. These are the Yoruba contemporaries, not barbarian Fulani and criminally minded Igbo. These guys are destroying our life because of unitary system. Unitary system is the problem. In a society, whatever you tax, you spend. That is the system in America. Go to Vegas. It was built as a result of gambling and prostitution. They use gambling and prostitution to build their state, and they are benefiting it. Whatever you earn, you spend. That is how life is all about. Whatever taxes that is generated in Yorubaland must be reinvested in Yorubaland. We can no longer afford our taxes to be taken away to Abuja and share with the Hausa Fulani and the Igbo. Look, for instance, if the Yoruba nation will want to give our people free education, we tax the companies in Yorubaland to pay 2% of their profit as education tax. We use this money to fund our education. If the Igbo want to do the same thing, they should tax companies in Igbo land education tax. Fulani should tax the companies in Igbo and Hausa Fulani land education tax. But what do they do under unity system? They are taking our education tax paid by companies in Yorubaland. They are taking it to Abuja and they are sharing it with Hausa Fulani, sharing it with Igbo. So how do we want to fund our education? How do we want to fund our education in Yorubaland? We don't have good hospitals in Yorubaland, yet they take VAT from Yorubaland and use it to build hospitals in Hausa Fulani. Why can't they not use the VAT generated in Hausa Fulani to build hospitals? This is what we are against. This is why we have to kill these people. This is why we must kill them. The world support us. Look at what the Kenya guys is writing on my Twitter. The world support us because what I'm saying is the legitimate truth, verifiable truth. I cannot consume this bottle of water here in England and I pay my VAT, which is even 21%. And my VAT will now go to Scotland. Did I consume this in Scotland? No. My VAT stays in England. This is the truth. This is what we are saying. This is the beauty of federalism. You can call it regionalism. Igbo don't want that system. Igbo wants us to continue to consume water in Yoruba land, and the tax is building roads, is building bridges for them in Igbo land, is building hospitals for them in Hausa Fulani land. How much more can we continue with this lifestyle? How much more? We have legitimate reason. We have legitimate right to kill Igbo in Yoruba land and Fulani. We must kill them. There must be blood in Nigeria. Otherwise, the Yoruba nation will continue to suffer. We must do something, folks. Don't forget to make donation, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, guys.